Hey, what's up, fellas? I'm my luscious female fan, Steve Alicious here, and as of yesterday, you could pre-order a Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. Been having a lot of fun with that name. So we're going to take a look at the Sony Xperia 1, I guess Mark 1. Is it still worth your money today? Should you be considering a Mark II? Can you get used to the 21:9 aspect ratio? Is the 4K screen worth it? All of these questions, and probably not many more, answered right now on Steve Alicious Tech. Okay, so first things first, I want to thank you guys for almost 60 subscribers. That's nuts. It means quite a bit to me. I appreciate it. If you're new here, if you like the content, if you want to be updated on when we release new videos, go ahead and give that subscribe button a little tussle, a little love, and you can be notified when new videos like this one come out. So the first thing you notice, that color. Fantastic. The purple, a deep, rich, vibrant purple. You're not getting gypped with the Sony colors. They had a Z3 compact long time ago that I tried to get a couple years ago, but when it came in, it arrived DOA. I had to send it back. Maybe someday I'll get it again, but it was in this really great teal color. Really nice. So when you get the colors with the Sony phones, you're certainly not getting gypped. The build quality is fantastic. You're getting good stats, but the main advantage to this particular phone, which might also be the reason why you don't get it, is the 4K display. And the Mark II is going to have it as well. Their cinematic display, which means 21:9 aspect ratio. And that's where the bugaboo comes in. That's where it really starts to stall you up when it comes to content. So let me show you what I mean. Let's pull up, we had this pulled up previously, but a Dave 2D video. So we'll go ahead. This is in 4K. And we go ahead and put it in landscape. And look at that. Look at the, you basically have a full almost knuckle there on either side of stuff that's blacked out. Now, when you look at it, when you pull it really close to your face to see the video, the detail's amazing. It's a really rich OLED screen in 4K. And the videos look great. But how often are you going to be, you got to have your nose to the screen to appreciate all of it. And that's fine, I guess, for some people. And you could do the thing where you stretch the videos out, which I don't particularly like to do. I like to see all the content. It bugs me when you stretch it out and you're kind of cutting off some of the content. Some videos, it's okay. Other ones, not so much. But what this particular screen was meant for was, and let me pull up Netflix. We have Solo here. Is a movie viewing experience. So when you go to a movie on Netflix, you get full advantage of the 21:9 screen-to-screen action, or edge-to-edge action rather, and you can watch your movie like this, which is quite nice. You don't need to kind of jam it as close to your face as possible to see everything that's going on, and you can enjoy the movie. My question to them is this. Is that something that is really worth it as the main attraction to the phone, when I contest that the majority of people are going to be watching YouTube on their phone or content similar to YouTube rather than watching feature-length films? If you're out on a bus or waiting for a bus or on a train, or you have a half hour on the way home, are you going to pull up a few YouTube videos, or are you going to pull up a Netflix movie and go to town? Maybe a show? But that shows, are all of them filmed in that ratio? I don't think so. So the content that you'd actually be consuming on a device like this, I don't think fits the form factor of the device. Maybe that's a problem for you, maybe not. I'm just thinking that if you're going on a plane or a longer trip where you may watch a feature-length film or a bunch of shows in a row, you're bringing an iPad. You're bringing a tablet of some sort, or you're bringing your laptop. I don't think you're necessarily doing that on your phone. So you'd have to make that decision whether it's worth it for you or not. Now, one of the things that you do get with that taller aspect ratio is the phone is easier to handle. So, unlike when you got your big Note, or let's pull up this from the last video, right? This is the Razr phone again. Look at the difference. And this was a giant case on it, but even still, you can see the difference there without a case. And what that allows for is that even though the screen is taller and there's more content up here that you'd have to reach to, when you go and reach for that upper part of the screen, you feel You don't feel like you're going to drop the phone. Even without a case, this is glass, perfectly nice build. You don't feel like you're going to drop it because your fingers, you have grip on the side. So if I need to go to the top on the phone, bam, I can get up there. Whereas on a bigger phone like today, when you get some of these 16:9 ratios or just bigger phones and screens in general, you got a chance to slip a little bit. You're kind of fishing for grip. Whereas on this one, you got the grip in your hand. And it is quite nice to have that security when you're looking at that. Now, I kind of use the top half of the screen and using it as where I view content. So it's great for scrolling. It's great for if you're in long chats, Discord, Twitter. It's really nice for that. And if you are looking at other content, stuff that you want to see more of on the screen. And, you could kind of use the lower half of the screen to toggle and to scroll. And you could use the top half just to view. And if you need to get up there, you can just fine. So, is that something that's a big deal for you? You'd have to decide. But I do think it's something that we're going to have to get used to. Because you see, this would actually, if you were to cut this phone in half, right? If you were to just go ahead and fold it in half, that's kind of what you're getting on the Z Flip from Samsung. That's kind of the form factor that I think you're going to get on these folding devices here on forward. So when the original, I think the G6 came out with the original 18:9 aspect ratio, and everyone was like, oh man, that phone is huge, it's tall, it's big, and you got used to it. When 21:9, the first time I held this, I was like, Jesus, this is freaking huge. It's tough to you get used to it. It took a little bit, but I eventually did get used to the taller aspect ratio, and I kind of like a phone that you could grip and have control of even without a case. I don't mind these cases, and some of them are very nice, but you spend all this money on a device with a premium feel and premium look and premium materials, and then you cover it with a $30 case. I know you've heard that before, and a lot of people say it, but it's true. If you have a device like this, you want to enjoy it as it was. You want to look at that color. That's the point. Now, on the Mark II, they're keeping this design for the most part. I think they're going to square off the edges just a little bit, so that might help with grip depending on your hand size. But the thing with this particular phone and the thing with the Mark II is price. When this one first came out, it was $1,000. The Mark II is going to start at $1,200. Now, is it worth that? No, I don't think so. I don't. Just because of the limitations on the content alone. Now, listen, if you, like I said, if you're one of those people that you have that half hour and you're ripping through a movie on Netflix, or you're trying to complete parts of it, fine, that might work for you. If you want to use the cinematic recording features, which it does have, we'll go over to the camera app, which is phenomenal, by the way. Camera Pro. You get all kinds of stuff. You could have it in different shutter speeds, different resolutions, frames per everything you could possibly imagine. Left and right channels for audio. Really nice detailed camera app that fits the 4K screen and takes advantage of it and the wider aspect ratio of the screen. If that's something that's important to you, this might be worth it. Personally, it was only worth it to me at half price. If it's something that you guys would spend $1,200 for, I'm going to go no. But I don't want to discourage. See, this is where it gets tough, right? Because I like my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I think it's very much worth it because it does everything very well. But the problem is that it's stale. It's flat. It does everything really well, but it doesn't wow you with anything. It has all these things that you use and that you would use, and the content's great to watch on it, but it just doesn't get to the point where you are like, this is something that I love, that I really want to use every day because it has that wow factor. This has the wow factor of that 4K display. This has the wow factor of the ratio that you do get used to. So it has something differentiating about it that you miss a lot on phones these days. I don't want the same slab over and over and over again. So while this may not be for everybody, I don't think the phones have to be for everybody. I don't think that's against the law that you can make a device that maybe is for a smaller portion of the cell phone market. That's not a problem. I personally would like to see more of that. I think it's a shame that kind of the OnePlus devices are going towards that just generic slab. Samsung's certainly there. Their UI is uninspiring. The designs are uninspired. I like the fact that phones like this exist. Now, should it be $1,200? I don't think so, but a lower amount If you could get it on sale, if it's something that you think you might like, I definitely think these phones are worth some consideration. And if for no other reason, I'm going to show you a case that I got that I haven't seen on any other phone. There you go. Winnie the Pooh case. I have no idea how this would be practical whatsoever. You could reach the fingerprint sensor, which is nice, sort of, I guess. And you could have a little hood, a little Winnie the Pooh hoodie on top of your phone. So if that's something you're into, your only choice is the Xperia 1. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-alicious day.